Writing a book is one of the best ways to establish your authority and establish yourself as a leader within your industry. Take all your knowledge and expertise and put them all together in one easy to consume book format to be sold online or in bookstores. And it's a great way to scale your business and generate leads. There's one problem with that. Bookstores don't just fork over their customer information to you. A lot of authors get around this by including a call to action or links to their website or newsletter in hopes that their readers will follow through and they can establish a more direct relationship that way. Let's face it, that's unreliable and not very effective. In this video, I'm going to show you a much better way of getting those customers onto your email list. If you'd like to learn more tips on how writing and publishing a book can build your business, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you can be notified whenever I post up a new video. As a freelance B2B ghostwriter, I have helped dozens of small business owners write and publish their nonfiction books. And this is the exact method I coached every single one of them to use when it came to drawing readers over from the bookstores, getting those readers onto their email list so they could build that relationship and eventually market to them for other things such as new book releases, new products, new courses, or anything else that those readers might eventually be interested in. As a search engine, Amazon is completely underutilized by small business owners. Small business owners are typically going after Google traffic, Bing, Yahoo, maybe even Pinterest or YouTube, but they completely forget about Amazon. And once you get a book on Amazon, a whole new world and a whole new audience opens up for your business. While a lot of people are hitting the search engines to answer their questions, just as many of them are hitting Amazon looking for those books that are going to deliver those answers. The problem is, of course, that those small business owners who have figured this out and gotten their books up onto Amazon are able to make an impact on their audience, but they can't actually talk to their audience beyond that sale because that reader went straight to Amazon, searched for an answer, found a book and bought it, but Amazon is not going to send that reader's information over to the author. Therefore, it's up to the author to leave a breadcrumb trail inside their book to get that reader over onto their email list. And there are a few different ways to do this. First, the biggest mistake I see a lot of new authors make when it comes to how to ask their readers to join their email list is they put it all in the back matter, typically under a section near the back of the book labeled something like "for further reading." And that's okay. It's better than not having a call to action at all in your book. But the problem with this placement is that it relies on the reader getting all the way through the book and then wanting to read further. I'm as big a bookworm as anyone. I love books and I love reading, but I rarely move on past the end of a book to see what else the author has out there. Not unless you're an author I already have a vested interest in, either because I've already read several of your books or I happen to know you personally. So if I, as one of the biggest bookish nerds I know, am not hunting down the information at the back of a book, then what are the chances that an average reader is going to do that? Hiding the information in the back of the book is just that, hiding. Now, another thing you can do, and it's about a step above hiding the information in the back of the book, is to place the information right in the front of the book, somewhere after the copyright page, but before the introduction and your first chapter. First of all, it's much more likely to be seen as readers will definitely be flipping through those pages. And another advantage is that a lot of people, when they go to Amazon, they will check out the look inside feature that you can see, and having your email list or a call to action to join your email list right there in the beginning is a really good way of capturing some readers before they've even bought your book. But now, the problem with this is that while more readers will see it, you don't necessarily want them jumping right out of your book and over onto your website or newsletter before they've even started reading your book, right? They don't really have a reason to do that just yet. There's no relationship there. And the most important thing for you and for them is to get them to read the book. If they don't read the book, then they don't learn your answer. They don't get your solution. They don't implement your strategy, and therefore you have no impact on their life or their business. So you want to minimize the distractions that happen between them buying the book and actually diving in to read the book. The best way to get around all of these issues is to create a short series of freebies and include them within your book. Not just any freebies, not your typical lead magnets that you might see on a website or maybe that you even have on your website, but specific freebies that are designed especially to help your readers implement the strategies they are about to learn in your book. Now, when I say a series of freebies, how many am I talking here? I recommend one main offer, say a workbook or a companion guide that's designed to work with your entire book itself, and then one smaller offer, such as a checklist or a worksheet for each chapter, designed to help the reader implement what they've learned within that chapter before moving on to the next chapter. The idea behind so many freebies is that if someone skips the main offer, your companion guide, your workbook, they might sign up for that chapter 1 checklist. Or if they skip the companion guide and the chapter 1 checklist, they might opt in for that worksheet that accompanies chapter 2. Or perhaps they'll skip all 3 of those and grab the checklist that goes with chapter 3. So I'm sure you can see the idea here, to offer small tools that help your readers consume and implement the information in your book. By doing this, you provide more value because your readers are getting an extra little tool to help them succeed, and in exchange, you're getting their email address. Win-win. Now, once a reader purchases your book from, say, Amazon, and they tap on one of the links to one of those freebies that you've set up, you're going to want to set up an email sequence that helps nurture them into that relationship. This is a whole new audience than you're used to, right? They aren't quite cold leads because they already bought your book, but they're not quite warm leads either because you have no relationship with them. So they've bought your book and they believe in your solution enough to download the free checklist or the worksheet to implement it, but they don't know you. They're not in your community. So this series of emails is going to help introduce you and your business, as well as guide them into your community where you can later sell them your coaching services or your courses or any future books you may try to sell. And I know what you're thinking, but Naomi, if I have 7 chapters and 8 freebies, right? Because one main freebie plus one freebie per chapter, if someone signs up for all 8 freebies, they're going to end up getting 8 emails from me a day and unsubscribing me for spam. Not if you set it up the right way, which I am going to show you how to do right now. Now, you can use any email service provider you like. I am showing you Flowdesk because this is the service I use for my actual list. However, I have set up similar systems for clients using ConvertKit, Constant Contact, GetResponse, several others. So I know that this can work in those systems as well. So to start, we're going to set up some new segments that go with the book you're writing. Again, one for each freebie being offered in that book, plus one main one. That main one should be named after the book itself. Next, we're going to set up your primary workflow. Now, this primary workflow is going to be email number 2 through however many emails you're going to be sending out, 4 or 6 or whatever. Why am I starting with email number 2? Because that's going to make everything else much easier later on. Now, before you start yelling at me that you're trying to write and publish a book, and now I'm telling you to write a bunch of freebies and checklists, and now you have to go about writing a whole bunch of emails, and how are you supposed to do all this while you're running your business? Calm down. I got you. There's this really cool tool I'm going to show you right now, and it's completely free. It's right here. It's called Drip Scripts. I will leave the link in the description below so you can check that out too. What this tool does is it allows you to grab a complete template for your emails. Just choose a template you like, tweak, and save. So we're going to come in here and choose a welcome sequence. Then we'll choose this social dig template here. It says build trust and discover what your subscribers want you to create next. So that's just about perfect, right? Select that template and you'll see it really spells everything out for you. Tells you where to tweak, add in your name for your offer, personalize it. This one comes with 3 emails, which is probably good for what we're trying to do. But if you wanted to add more, you can do that by hitting the plus button here. Or you can remove some of these emails if you only want to stick with 1 or 2. Make all the changes you like to the entire sequence. Then copy the second email, come back over here to Flowdesk or whatever email service you're using, and just paste it right into your workflow. Double check it for formatting and everything. Make sure your links and attached freebies are good. Then save. Good to go. Now, repeat this with email number 3, and we're all done. So now we're going to save this in Flowdesk, and we're going to create new workflows, one for each freebie you're offering in your book. So, starting with your main offer, we're going to say, trigger this workflow when someone is tagged with the name of that offer, companion guide. In your workflow here, you're going to put in a time delay of say 2 to 3 days so they have enough time to read your book. Then we're going to add in a new action, add subscriber to segment. We're going to choose that first segment that we put together. And voila, that's the magic right there. Repeat for each offer or freebie. Now, what this does is it ensures that when someone signs on for that freebie while reading your book, they get their freebie right away, while it can still help them learn everything in the book. If you have 8 offers and they sign up for all 8, they will get all 8 offers in their email box right away. But then they will be sent to the main segment with the main series of emails. Because of Flowdesk's duplication protection, they won't get that entire series of emails 8 times. Instead, they will only get it once, ensuring that you're not going to spam them. Now, like I said, ConvertKit and Constant Contact also have duplication protection, which keeps your subscribers from becoming inundated with duplicate emails from this type of setup. If you are wondering whether or not your email provider can handle this type of a setup, just contact their customer service and ask them specifically for a duplication protection for your subscribers and find out what happens if your subscribers end up opting in at more than one point to go to the same sequence. There you have it. Now, you'll want to place the main offer, the big workbook, or the companion guide at the beginning of your book, somewhere around the introduction. And the reason for that, again, is because of the way Amazon's Look as Guide feature works. This particular placement is to try to catch some of those people, the people who are checking out your book, but not buying it for whatever reason. If they see the free workbook or companion, there is a good chance that some of them will opt to follow that link and get signed up for the workbook, even though they didn't actually purchase the book itself. And you may be thinking, well, sure, this works well for ebooks, but what about print books? And you're right. You can't tap on a print book to download any kind of an offer, which does make this method just a little bit harder to implement, but not impossible. First, I usually recommend a staggered release. A staggered release is when you release the ebook first, then as the ebook is building your email list, make a couple of modifications to the book, get ready for the launch of your printed version 3 to 4 months later. A few months after that, make plans to release an audiobook version. And each time you release a new version of your book, you're going to be able to launch to your email list that is growing thanks to the ebook version that you put out first. Second, you can go to this website right here, a QR code generator, and generate a QR code for each of your freebies. You'll just click right here, add in the URL to your freebie, and right over here, you will see it generate the code for you. Download the code as a JPEG file and add it to your manuscript. Now, anyone with the paperback version of your book can just scan the code using their smartphone and opt in to receive the same free worksheet or checklist as anyone with the ebook without having to work or jump through a whole lot of hoops to get it. Sure, they still have to jump through the one hoop of scanning the QR code, but that's a much easier hoop to jump through than if you just typed out the URL into the book and hoped that they would get to a computer or tablet and type in the address themselves. There you have it. Just like that, your nonfiction book becomes a real lead generator, bringing emails straight to you. And the worksheets and checklists you're providing to your readers will help them implement the solutions that your book is providing them, which will increase the impact your book will have on their business and on their life, which is all a win-win situation all around. Now, of course, the easiest way to plan all this out is to build your free offers and checklists right into your book outline. And if you'd like help with that, you can check out my free nonfiction book outline template. You'll find the link down below in the description. And if you'd like to see that outline in action, you can check out my video on that here. Throw me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you right over there. Bye.